What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know where Broker is.
Oh, that whole time I thought that it was I,
There we go.
Broker. Welcome. I don't know what
Thank you.
happened.
Yeah, I don't know what they. It just kicked me for some reason, but I'm back.
That's so weird. The whole time I thought it was me that got kicked, and I was like trying to figure out how, but I guess it was you. What's up, guys? We are back to talk about One Piece theory. It was break week. We've had a few big chapters. And yeah, I'm here with Nerd Taku and the Broker. How you guys
So
doing?
fantastic.
What
Thanks
up?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Girlfriend left for out of town, so I'm
Bachelor
chilling.
pad. Bachelor pad.
Pretty
Nice.
pretty much. Thank God we did laundry today, because it might be a week till I do it again. You
Just turn
know,
your boxes inside out. You get another day's worth.
Yeah.
definitely not.
Yeah.
I'm more of the person that will just buy a new pair instead of doing laundry. You know?
Instead of.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
All right. Well, how are you, Taku? How was the first pre-Father's Day?
I
And your
mean,
Father's
it
Day?
was it was great. My wife got me two really great gifts, one of which I'm wearing. It's got the Law Devil fruit on it. It's from Hypeland. So I'm doing good. It was a great time.
How long
Sh-
she got left to go?
She's got till October 30th
Damn.
is the
Oh,
is
you
the
can have
deadline.
you can have a Halloween baby.
It possibly.
Nice. There you go. That'd be good. You are
So
aware
yeah.
if they're born on Halloween, you have to call them Jack, right? Obviously.
I thought about that, but I don't think that a girl would be happy if I named her Jack, unless it was Jackie.
I was going to say, yes, a girl's name. You can use Jack as a girl's name.
if she,
Jacqueline, Jackie. There's lots of things.
if if she's born on Halloween, you got to do a little like domey reversey,
Oh,
freaking.
I have a thing to bring up on that. That again, this would have been going back a long time theory wise. So it's how the world government flag looks, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that in the beginning those circles were white, and when Emu took over, he did the Domi Reversi. So each like the Othello table. So it's all those circles. I think the original flag of the ancient kingdom maybe was the five circles all together, but white instead of blue. So like they were the reverse of it.
Ooh, let me check that out. Hold up.
Interesting. Well,
That is
I have that theory about the ancient kingdom and Blue Star and the all blue
yeah.
that I've sent to you.
Yes, that's what I like it a lot. So, what
Yeah.
is? Do you remember back when we saw them playing Othello on when it was back on Roof Piece, so in Wano?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
actually, that's where I'm at
that's
right
yeah,
now.
that's when I talked about it. It was on one of the pods a while ago. Again, quite a while ago now, because it was obviously a long time ago. It was in the manga, but I was like, that Othello table looks very similar to the world government flag, and I thought maybe it's just again they turned it black when they took over. Emu turned the circles all black.
Hmm.
Because I was talking about the Othello thing. Do you remember when Strong World, the movie, came out?
Yes.
There was an accompanying. You could physically buy a one-piece Othello set. It was like a
Really?
real product sold by like Shueisha and Shonen. It was an Othello table, but a one-piece branded one. Let me see if I can find it for you. Like I said, this is a long time ago. Forgive me. So, is it two L's for Othello? It is. Yeah.
What I think is kind of interesting is like some people were stating like the world government's logo is just like the east blue, west blue, north blue, south blue, and then the grand line is the center part.
Yes.
For that, but it would be interesting to think that the ancient kingdom had like, I want to say like five major races,
Yeah.
and that's what it
Or
originally
again, it was,
stood
or
for.
again, or maybe the ancient kingdom. Again, we know they had an island to themselves, but maybe they physically spread out over all four blues with their kingdom in the middle. So they were in the middle on the Grand Line, and the circles around it were again like literally that again, it was just turned over. They were flipped. So they started as white circles, and now they're obviously, well, I know they're blue, but you know what I mean, they've been flipped to a darker color.
It's also possible that maybe this is kind of crazy. What if it was similar to like the ancient kingdom actually had 5 countries that were connected, similar to Long Ring Longland?
Yep.
And like when the water came up, it would just rise over those areas. And like the original Joy Boy was the one who actually connected them with the like actual bridges type things, which it would also be pretty interesting considering we know there's 4 bridges being made currently.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you read my mind. That's what I was going to hang on. I found it. Again, this is a very old product, but it's a real thing. Or you can't buy it now. It's like out of stock everywhere. Let me send it to you in the disc. Can I send things on the chat? Can I send things here? Oh, I can. I'll put it in the private chat. So I might as well put it in the comments so everyone can have a look. So there's the link. Oh, hang on. You can't post a thing there. I can't post it there. Never mind.
URLs.
Yeah, there you go. I'll put it in our private chat. But if you look at that there, I don't know if one of you can obviously bring it up on the screen. Back in Strong World, this was a real product you could physically buy yourself in Japan.
Oh, very interesting.
And Strong World is around the time of when Roof Piece was was happening, like when the Othello game was being played.
Well, no, Strong World wasn't happening then.
Was that? Oh no, sorry, I'm not Strong World. I'm thinking of the one with Stampede. Sorry, Stampede.
Yeah, Stampede was happening.
No, Strong World's a long time ago, isn't it?
Yeah, that was pre-skip.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, crazy. Yeah. Mike, that's a long time. But like, yeah, so even all the way back then, they had Othello already in like again, obviously not in the story yet, but as a product, so they were obviously thinking about it.
Very
but
interesting.
just to imagine the circles of the world government flag as Othello discs, I think is quite a cool idea.
It also is interesting because like the way it looks is when you have like Dory and Broggy, it's the piece in between them that flips.
Yes.
Yeah. And that would be like this one is like there would be 4 pieces surrounding the one, and then that would make the center flip.
Or maybe those 4 things were road poneglyphs, as in the original thing the ancient kingdom did was split up those 4 road poneglyphs, and that was what the circles were supposed to simplify. So, and then the one in the middle, because have I talked to you guys about why there's 4 road poneglyphs before?
No.
Well, so I think we had talked about this. It's because each one should be given a quadrant, like a longitude, latitude, and then but then there's a 4th one that shit, what did you say? I do remember this.
Yeah.
But yeah, what does the 4th one represent?
So it's basically if you want to plot a course anywhere on a map, right? As in actually using proper cartography. I only know this because I'm an Eagle Scout, right? You need 3 things. You need to be able to everyone's heard of triangulation, yeah?
Yeah.
Using 3 points to like find somewhere on a 2-dimensional space, you need 3 points. However, if you have a 4th quadrant, it means that anywhere along the XY axis, the thing you are looking for can move. So it can move anywhere along an XY axis. So it can move up, down, left, right, diagonal. That 4th quadrant is so you can track which line that thing is following. So you can move it anywhere along. So everyone's seen, like, you remember when you were at school, right? And you drew like line graphs.
Yeah.
Like that on a map where you've got all of that little squares all marked out like A6 and that sort of thing. If it
playing Battleship.
Yeah, it's like battleships, exactly. Imagine battleships, right? But every turn you're allowed to move your pieces without telling the opponent. It's like that. So what it means is that whatever this thing is they're looking for at Laugh-Tale, it moves at set points. So it's constantly moving. I've always thought that it's like basically it's an island that is on the back of like a giant massive sea king, like a huge, and it basically every now and again it comes up for air. and that's what the 4 road poneglyphs tell you. It's like, this is where it will be, and the 4th one is when it will be there. So this is how you track it, and then the 4th road poneglyph is so you can find out where it will be at what time.
Interesting.
I think that the idea of it going underwater and stuff is why devil fruit users struggle to get there, because it's, again, if you want to explore this island, you've either got the amount of time that it comes to the surface for, or you can dive down with it, like, again, using like a ship's coating thing, the same as they went to Fishman Island. But again, if you've got all devil fruit users with you, like Blackbeard, you're going to struggle.
I wonder, is there a possibility that that it doesn't go underwater, but perhaps it stays in the sky for a certain amount of time?
Sorry, again, you're right. Actually, when I mean is it either it's out of reach to normal people at set periods of time.
Yeah, because the reason I was thinking, the reason I was thinking Sky Island was because, from what we know about Skypiea is it's non-government affiliated, obviously.
Correct.
And like, it's not like a lot of government officials travel there, Marines and stuff like that. Same with Witheria. It would actually be really interesting if it only stays up for a certain amount of time because of a knock-up stream that happens every so often. Imagine it shoots up into the sky and it creates a cloud underneath it with all of the water.
Yeah, I love that. So
and then when eventually it rains out and falls back down to the earth, but then gets hit by the knock-up stream again, and it just runs that same course.
I love it, but the only thing that I don't like about it is, what are the chances that Luffy just ends up being there at the right time? That it's,
Oh, I can answer that if you want me to. So how I think I've had this theory for a long. I talked to Taco about this probably a year and a half ago, like the first time I went on live with you. So what I've been saying for a long time is, eventually, when the Blackbeard pirates get the 4th road poneglyph, I think they're physically going to Blackbeard's either going to destroy it himself, like Gura Gura, Darkness Fruit, whatever, or they're just going to physically pick it up and take it with them so that nobody else can follow. And that Luffy will end up doing is he will have to suck up his pride and go to Rayleigh and say, look, you remember how to get there, tell me. And that's how I think it's going to go. Because why else would we, in the story, right? Why else would you tell us, the reader, and the Straw Hats as an entire crew, why would you tell them that this man alone knows how to get to Laugh-Tale? He knows the way. There's nothing, he knows how to get there. No ifs, no buts. He outright tells them that he knows how to get there. And remember, he was willing to share this information. It was only because Luffy said no. So it means that if ever the Straw Hats are left in the lurch, like the Blackbeard pirates have gone, that's it. There's no way to get that 4th poneglyph rubbing. Again, if Luffy wants to be the king of the pirates, he's going to have to swallow his pride. Just a small bit, like asking Rayleigh. He's not cheating as such. It's Blackbeard already cheated. All he wants is to get back on an even footing with Blackbeard. Like, we both know how to get there.
Yeah, no, that I can understand. Taku, you look like you wanted to say something real bad.
I very much dislike that. Honestly, to me, the coolest thing that could happen in that moment, if Blackbeard is able to destroy poneglyphs, which we know canonically can't really be destroyed unless you are basically Odin and know how they're made and stuff like that. Like, he was only able to carve into the gold, and they were stonesmiths. Like,
he could physically absorb it though, using his darkness fruit. He could just put it in his darkness and just leave it there. He doesn't necessarily need to break it into pieces.
But we don't even know if that would work.
Oh no, but he did it with buildings. Remember when he was fighting Ace, he had all those buildings from Bonaro Island inside him.
Yeah.
If these stones are made with hockey, I don't know that he could do that. Or if they're made out of sea prism, it wouldn't be affected by that. But my thing is, if he does destroy it, whatever, sure, he does that. My thing is that would be my thought process of like, okay, Shanks would also have to have the poneglyph rubbing, and then Luffy would fight him in a Davy back fight for the
That would
last
be cool.
poneglyph.
That'd
That-
be cool.
That would be the way that
Yeah.
I would want Luffy to get it,
Again,
instead
I
of
would
getting
love
it
that.
from Rayleigh or even Gabon. Like,
again,
I don't. I'd
Like-
love him to get it like a pirate instead
Yes.
of getting it like, like having to
I'm with you
basically,
100%. It's just,
talk to a former king of the pirates,
like I said, as I've told you before, I don't know if I've told you, NYC. I
Yeah.
think that what's going to happen is sorry, not the Straw Hats. I always get this wrong. The red-haired pirates are going to fight the Blackbeard pirates, and that they are going to lose. So that the Blackbeard pirates will cheat in order to win. Because remember, we've been told ever since Punk Hazard that the Blackbeard pirates use the underworld system to buy these chemical weapons. They were there shown in when we were showing the screenshots of all the people that were looking at what Caesar was selling. The Blackbeard pirates were there, Lafitte and what's her name, Katerina Devon. They were shown as wanting to buy these things that Caesar was selling. So I can absolutely see them cheating by using things like chemical weapons in order to balance the scale, so that they can cheat in order to defeat Shanks and the red-haired pirates.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be a fair fight.
There's
I don't
a
even know if they'd
possibility.
have to cheat. I think I don't think they would do that.
Oh,
Like,
the Blackbeard pirates would.
No, I see what you're saying, but I think if I was about to call them the Black Hats. The Black, I don't know why, the Blackbeard Pirates, the Red Hats versus the Black Hats.
Stop it, you confuse me.
If the red-haired pirates and Blackbeard crew, if they fought, like, I don't think that they would need to really cheat. Like,
I think that what it is that I think that the readers would dislike it if the Blackbeard pirates won outright. I think people would prefer it if there was it was getting even, it's really close, and then Blackbeard cheats somehow in order to win.
Yeah, well, I think I see him. The way I would see it is more of a grimy move, Blackbeard would
fine.
attack, a group of civilians, and Shanks would be
that's what I was again.
using-
I'm with you 100%. I think they'll use the hallucinogen weapon, so that imagine this, yeah. So that hallucinogen weapon that we saw used in Whole Cake, yeah. We know that is a weapon that is sold via what's his name, Caesar Clown and stuff, right? Because that's where they got it. What I would love to see is imagine Shanks looking at a crowd of people and he's hallucinating and thinking Luffy is in danger or something, and that's what lets him drop his guard.
What hallucinogen?
It was used on Oven and Katakuri, so they fought each other thinking they were different people.
Oh,
remember that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I was I'm going through Whole Cake, and I'm like, I don't remember there ever being a hallucinogen, but it was the cover story.
Yeah, the cover story. Yeah, sorry. What I meant, it was on Whole Cake, not in the Whole Cake arc.
Okay.
But again,
yeah,
we know that weapon exists. It's you know what I mean by Chekhov's gun, right?
Yeah.
Why
if
else
it
would
was
you
brought
get
up,
it? Exactly, it's going to be
used.
And if you had to pick any pirates out there to use dirty, underhanded tricks in order to win, I would say the Blackbeard pirates every time. Maybe Buggy after that, but Blackbeard number one.
Wait, you don't think that the Phoenix Pirates would be the first one?
Which
you guys remember
Phoenix Pirates? Oh, from the filler. Oh my God, yes.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
I don't remember the Phoenix Pirates.
So do you remember? Oven's Devil Fruit, yeah.
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 It was originally in a filler in the anime. It was this
giant
fat guy.
I do remember that.
Do you remember this? And they stole the flag. Oh, NYC.
Yeah.
Well, that
was
nostalgia.
That was a legendary poll.
That's my second favorite filler after the Captain John G8 stuff.
Well, I always wondered what happened. I could have seen a world where they were something,
Oh, I hate the idea that how many chapters in there? 1152, and we've never come across bounty hunters apart from one time at Dressrosa, and he did nothing. He collected a few swords, and that was about it. It's the entire point of the wanted poster thing is for bounty hunters to go after. It's not for Marines. Marines can't claim bounties, right? That's why Smoker always gave them away. So like I said, why have we never seen it? Never. So me and some friends, right? We literally have a thing. We're trying to, obviously we're using like AI now because none of us are talented in any way when it comes to art. We're trying to make like a manga side thing, like a side manga that's all about bounty hunters in One Piece.
Like a fan piece.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it talks about, and again, to try and explain away why no bounty hunters seem to be, and the way we're doing it is that, remember how like Bartolomeo is like a proper Luffy fan, yeah? That there's this group of bounty hunters, and ever since Luffy like first started showing things pre-time skip, they basically said, look, we are the only ones that are going to be taking the Straw Hats bounties. No one else is allowed to go after them, just us, like threatening the other bounty hunters. And then you just find out that they're the ones that are allowing the Straw Hats to escape every time. Like every time there's been a way where the Straw Hats just get away at the end, it's always because of this group of bounty hunters.
That's actually interesting. That kind of models after Fan Letter, how like everyone was working behind the scenes to get them off of Sabaody.
I had that idea long before the Fan Letter, but I love the Fan Letter. The Fan Letter so far is my favorite piece of animation, probably in the last 5 years. Not just for One Piece, for anything. I would rate it as absolutely faultless. There is not a there is not a wasted scene in the entire thing. It is perfection. Absolute perfection.
Yeah, it was great.
I would really want to see more of those. I really do, but it seems less and less likely. They keep saying they're doing all these different things, but it's like when can we see it actually take place? Like even if we were just following that same little girl again, I'd be happy with that. Just as long as it's the same quality. Like the best part of that for me was the behind the scenes part of the war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think we're getting something more-ish.
Really?
Yeah. It had such a good like the reception it received was like really positive. Like I don't think that I heard a single bad thing about it.
No.
But Taku, you wanted to say?
No, just like the Fan Letter just like really was well done. Like I really loved every bit of it. Like it definitely made me cry. Like I was like, this is amazing. This is fantastic. And like just I just love the behind the scenes stuff. Like I would have loved to see like more stuff like that. Sometimes I'm like I'm trying to think of conflicts, but I think my favorite one that I would have wanted to see was like just a random person in Wano, like that just like saw like all or even heard of these like random occurrences happening ever since like Luffy showed up in the very beginning. Like imagine seeing him like topple the sumo wrestler and then be like, oh wow, like this guy's actually like really strong. And then like all leading up to the point where like you're at the flower capital and you just like look to the right and you see a giant fist just like punching like a big, you're like, what is that? Is that Kaido in the sky? And you see a giant fist come through the clouds and just wreck it. And then you're like, what is happening? You see like him like in his like, Nika form and everything, like his gear fifth. And then he like joins the festival after like the Shogun shows up, like the new Shogun shows up, like just seeing all of that stuff like take place, like hearing there's a prison break, and stuff like that, and being like, man, who is this guy? Or even just being like, yeah, like all the bridges blew up right before the fire festival. This is weird, like there are so many conflicts where like just seeing like just seeing from the outside, like I feel like we almost got that a little bit with like Kuma's backstory, because we got to see him see Luffy, and then eventually we got to see him see Luffy punch a celestial dragon and stuff like that. Like we got to see different views of Sabaody and like different events. And it's just like always really cool to have those like come back around moments. So I just think that would be great.
Yes. Speaking of Kuma, um, which is actually speaking of Ginny and Gunko, like the whole kind of hype around who Gunko may be, like died out pretty fast. And like I know that the anime isn't, you know, quote unquote canon, but since the anime's on those episodes, it's got me thinking about it recently, and like seeing Ginny die and seeing Bonnie with the sickness, it made me really think that Gunko is Ginny, and like the where they the bandages over her face would be covering you know the what do you call it, crystals,
Sapphire scales.
yeah, scales, that's the word for it, covering the scales on her face, and it just like I think that everybody kind of like shifted away talking about who she was because the chapter surrounding it got so big, but and because she had that quote unquote flashback that everybody thought was Brooke, which I don't think it was, you know, actually Brooke. I think she was just like, distorting her memory with the person that was in front of her, kind of to throw people off. And I don't know. I'm really, really think that it's Ginny, and I think that it really opens up this world for, you know, can Emu bring people back that are dead? Can he, use kind of a necromancer type, not bring them back, but like, can he raise the dead? Which would bring me to one of our first talks when I brought up that he has a Nekomata fruit, which would be, one of the characteristics of a Nekomata. And if so, this raises so many possibilities that I was thinking about. And by no means am I sold on this, but I know, guys, we were talking about the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and I mentioned to you, this could be, and I just brought up Ace as the Holy Spirit, um, as the man with the burn scar. Like what if, you know,
Would you be
they
okay? So would you be okay then if like it was like a more advanced version of Gecko Moria's fruit? So they bring back Ace, but again, he's not like a zombie, but he's like almost like a shell of his former self. So he doesn't have much of his personality. He has to follow all of Emu's orders, but he still like recognizes people. Like he would know Luffy if he saw him, but he would attack him immediately on sight if told to.
would I be okay with it?
Yeah, so is that the sort of thing you mean when you like raising the dead, or do you mean like literally almost like just a puppet? So
Yeah, no,
like,
literally like a puppet, but
okay,
maybe like hits Luffy and has a distorted, image of his past or something,
oh,
kind
like
of like
fake
that.
memories. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, oh,
So
I like that. That's awesome.
so well, I'm not sold on it, and I know, like
I like
Taki
it.
said, I think a lot of people would hate if Ace got brought back. Um,
As long as he's not alive, though. If he's again, it's like, would you be okay if there was an Ace zombie, like literally using Gecko Moria? Because remember, Blackbeard has Moria's fruit in
oh
a
yeah,
way.
he's not like he's not back forever. Like if
Yeah.
Emu
Okay.
goes down, he goes down, type of deal.
Okay.
But I just like I don't know, like to me, Ace, like the man with the burn scar, that would be like, you know, that would throw everyone for a loop. And I think after the last couple chapters, like we can't really count anything out now. Like,
Agreed.
like we 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 just saw, Dorian Bragi get turn into super demons,
Yeah.
super devils. Like if you told me that like we were gonna see them, someone have the power to like turn people into demons, like I would have said bullshit.
I said that. I said that a long time ago.
He's waiting. He was waiting.
Thanks for setting me up there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would be, but this is gonna sound crazy. I would be more okay with Ace coming back in like a puppeteer type role as the man with the burn scar or whatever. My only issue is, and maybe it could be explained by like him using Emu's power as like a conduit type thing, because like technically like his body should have nothing to do with fire anymore. He shouldn't be a Logia. He shouldn't have anything, because Sabo has his fruit now.
Yeah.
So he would be only using Emu's power, and then it would have to be like a Nekomata or like an Umi Bozu type thing that he's like possessed with, because everywhere he sails, he's in a ship with like black sails, and there seems to be like whirlpools that form. So it would have to be like he's using Emu's power or given like some other devil fruit to be able to utilize like the ocean currents or something like that. Which isn't like
can I just
crazy.
Sorry, I just have some quick pushback on that, but we know that Emu and Gunko both use that arrow, like we saw Emu use it on Sabo. So like why couldn't Ace use fire when we know Emu can use fire?
I can help you out there. What about what's the name of the guy who can make the fear demons, the fear creatures? Killingham, yeah?
Yeah.
Could Killingham make a version of Ace that could still use fire as a nightmare? Like if somebody's nightmare was Portus D Ace, would that version of Ace that he creates, would they be able to use fire? Does that make sense?
Maybe. I mean, it really depends. I mean, technically, well, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. I was like, was the lightning cloud that was there, was he actually using lightning, or did he just look like a big storm cloud? Like,
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up.
I don't know. But what I'm saying is like, sure, yes, Emu was able to use Gunko's fruit, but that implies the connection. Sabo now has Ace's fruit, so Ace shouldn't be able to use it at all.
Agreed.
It would be like if someone brought back Whitebeard in that same capacity, he shouldn't be able to use the Gura.
Nice.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
Well, like, go ahead. But it brings me to my point that about Blackbeard's devil fruits that I want to talk about. But go on.
Okay. But I was like, it would honestly be, I think, almost cooler if, like, if Emu, if he is like a devil, like in even like the Lucifer standpoint or something like that, if he had like a black fire or something like that he would be able to utilize, like a hellfire. Like it would be cool if, if Ace is coming back, if he used like a black like fire fist, it would be awesome. So super cool, and that's all the glaze.
Yeah, speaking of the arrow thing, I've just assumed here that I was like right. When we saw the Emu like Gunko possession and they had the pointy tail, I thought that was what was used to attack Sabo. I know it looks similar to the arrow fruit that Gunko has, but I think it's just one of those things that looks similar but is different. Like I think when Sabo was at Murray Joao and obviously he was trying to save Cobra, I think what they got hit by was Emu's like pointy tail,
but that also a pointed tail like that is, reminiscent of what a yokai, or not a yokai, a Nekomata would have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, same as it is with like a Western style demon though, with like the pointy tails, the pitchforks, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, which like honestly, like I mean, to me, it's not beyond the pale to think that Emu can utilize any of the people who they have basically given the abyss marks to share their devil fruit power. So to me, like it wouldn't be insane. Like if Emu all of a sudden whipped it, like, you know, goes to fight someone and whips out like a thorn baseball bat, like, you know, Sommers, I would be like,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like I
same
wouldn't
here.
even question it, you know. Same like if, you know, all of a sudden, you know, someone goes to attack Emu and all of a sudden they turn into like a slithery dragon and they're a Kieran and all of a sudden they're bringing out, you know, nightmares. I would be like, okay, makes sense to me.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
like that a lot.
Or like I just think that having that would be very cool, and it takes like almost the idea of Vegapunk and again flips it on its head, reverse style, because of the fact that it's like
Almost
you
Domi
can,
reversing.
yeah, exactly, because it's like Vegapunk was using his devil fruit and controlled 6 different bodies, but this one is one body that is able to use 7 or, you know, 12 devil fruits. You know, to me, I think that would be cool as fuck, to be honest.
I saw, speaking of like the tattoos and stuff, I saw somebody online talking about the idea of what if the tattoo that Dragon has is one of those.
Well, I know that we had talked about that. I think that it's what if it was like a new, you know, type of magic or something, a new power like that they brought into it. We had talked about this a while ago.
Yes.
But what I thought about it is, what if it's not that? What if he does have an abyss mark, but that is to block it out? Like that is to negate Emu's, you know, power.
Control.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Or
like, do you mean like a way to stop him being possessed?
Yeah, or to stop, you know, stop Emu's control through him. Or I was thinking, what if it is, and that's the reason why Dragon hasn't done much yet, because Emu would know he's coming. You know, he can't, you know, if he makes a move on them, like Emu can just be like, hey, guys, you know, like.
How about this then? If we're going to bring it into all the things we've been talking about, so let's say that when Dragon was a Marine, he got went through this Emu thing, got given the tattoo, and then obviously when he learned what was going on, he branded himself like remember like how Fisher Tiger would do for the slaves, where he would put that like mark over the top so that you couldn't tell who was a slave and who wasn't, with the branding thing, like the Sun Pirates bit. What if Dragon did that to himself? Like he physically burnt the scar, the mark that was on him, so now he can't be controlled, and that's what made him the Burn Scar Man. He literally burnt his own face so that tattoo was no longer there.
Or what if the Burn Scar person is someone that burned an abyss mark?
Yeah,
even, you know,
I'd like that.
But also, speaking of abyss marks, like how many people do you think are going back right now and checking every
panel? I knew you were going to say that.
No, seriously though.
No, like, you're right. 100% you're right.
You know, like this can't be something that's like, you know, that new. You know, like I see Taku's screen flickering. He's definitely like, every one of these character tattoos.
So what I was looking at is like there's someone, I think it's Monkey D. Quell, had a theory that I really liked for Dragon.
Monkey D. Quell, Taku brings you up all the time. Get on this podcast. You are welcome.
I do see him quite a bit. But I also spend like an egregious amount of time on TikTok. But
you do.
He had
shit.
And so his thing was Dragon has a mythical model, Zoan. I believe it's like I forget what it would be. I think it's like the snake model Quetzalcoatl, and Quetzalcoatl is like a Aztec.
Yeah, literally, Max, you had this with me again, that was a long time ago. We first started talking, you were talking about this.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
Like I saw this theory, a while ago, and then he's made like fucking 10 videos since then, just like more affirming it. But like the way the scales look on Quetzalcoatl, like the way they overlap is similar to the pattern that Dragon has on his face. And so it was like a symbol of liberation, and that's why he had it. But what was interesting was when we first saw Dragon, he had it on a band on his leg. And then we like saw him like one moment when he's with the freedom fighters, then he got it tattooed on his face, but he no longer had the band on his leg. So it would be interesting if like the representation of like the freedom, he needed to basically like keep Emu out. And then he eventually was like, the band isn't sufficing anymore. I need it to be like, if it was like a magical mark that would basically stop Emu from taking over, which could also coincide to Broker's theory about him being in the Marines and going to make the deal with Emu and realizing that he didn't want to be a part of it. And so he needed to basically somehow keep Emu out of his thoughts if he has an abyss mark or something like that. And this could be the way to keep Emu away. It could be like an ancient kingdom type, like almost just like the pentagram and the abyss marks could be ancient technology. This could be the antithesis of that he would have to use. Since he already.
Would you be okay with that making him the burn scar man? Like, again, so he literally he burnt it onto his own face to get rid of the mark from Emu. I see. The reason I say is because when it comes to the black sails, right, and that it's always surrounded by whirlpools and maelstroms, I think that is being done by Dragon. So I think Dragon's got a wind Logia. Nothing like, again, I know there's like lots of things that he could also be using wind with the Quetzalcoatl thing. I just like Logias. I want more people to have like powerful Logias just because I miss them, really. I miss them in the story.
Yeah.
But what I want to see is, so he doesn't have a mythical root. He's got a wind Logia, and that he uses that to make these maelstroms constantly so that no one can get to this ship. He knows that somebody is going to need this last poneglyph. So he's not using it for himself. He's just stopping other people from getting it. He's keeping it on the move at all times.
Wasn't that like kind of an original theory, though, that people thought he had like a wind or rain?
Yeah. Everyone's been. So I think what it was is, do you remember this was more an anime thing than a manga thing, believe it or not? When we got the Ace and Luffy Sabo flashback as kids, in the anime, we actually see like all this wind blowing through and putting out fires and stuff like that. We don't see it as much in the manga. It's a side sort of story thing. It's not done as much. So it's one of those things where people are using the anime to make a prediction more than the manga. I think there's evidence for both, but the anime really like embellishes it, shall we say.
Yeah, it's like a green wind that blows through.
Yes, you're right. Yes,
yeah, it very much did seem like it was perpetuated by Dragon, because literally like it starts blowing through the town, putting out all the fire. It's like it's very much like this is definitely Dragon's power, but it doesn't.
Right, go on.
Yeah, no, it doesn't like highlight per se, like, that Dragon is doing it or not doing it. And I don't know if it needs to disprove, and I understand like everyone wants Logias, especially because of where we think Dragon 1 should be. 2, where he served in the military, it seemed like everyone at that time came up, got a Logia. And like, it kind of makes sense from what we've seen. Now, does it have to be a wind Logia? It could be like a wind deity.
Absolutely. The Quetzalcoatl thing you said works.
Yes, because they definitely have the like power. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they do have mythical power. It's like
Exactly. Yeah. There's always an extra
literally,
thing.
yeah. And so it's like what is also really interesting about the Quetzalcoatl is the fact that it has like it's like a creator god, but on top of that, it also has like it has a relation to the sun. So it would
Oh,
be
really?
very interesting. Yeah. So it would be
Tell me.
very
Tell me. I'm interested.
interesting. Here, let me click on it real quick. Yeah, so it says he was also known as the patron god of the Aztec priesthood. He was one of several important gods in the Aztec pantheon, along with the gods, I might butcher this, Tlaloc, Capita
Good luck.
Poca, yeah, and Huitzilopochtli.
Oh, that one,
The
of
two
course. Yeah.
gods, yeah, the two gods by the planet Venus are Tlaloc, the ally god of rain, and then the Zoctol, which is I don't even know how to say that, and its twin. But it says among the Aztec gods, he was related to the wind, Venus, sun merchants, arts,
Nice.
crafts, and knowledge. So we play this game where we're like, oh, dragon has all this knowledge.
It does fit.
And
It does fit
stuff
really
like that.
well.
It does fit very well.
Yeah.
And I do like it. It would be very interesting if that was something that he got. A feathered serpent would be very cool, but it could also fit with the mural as well, because we see a serpent there.
Yep. I was about to read my mind. I was about to say, does that does that fit, do you think?
It might. I mean, what's very interesting is the fact that it's a feathered serpent with wings.
Yes.
And
is it one that can fly, or is it one of those ones that's like on the ground, that sort of thing?
No, it can fly.
Oh, okay, cool.
That was like that's why it has like the representation of wind, because apparently it's a very fast flying serpent.
See, my thing has always been, I've said this for a long, long time. I like the idea, like I said, that he was the youngest promoted admiral. He got given a Logia fruit, the same as all the other admirals, admirals did, and he had the Wind Logia. And that when he was on the run, basically, the reason his bounty, again, we don't know what his bounty is. I've got a separate theory on that, but the reason he's the most wanted man is because if you are at sea in the One Piece world, you are using sailboats. That is the main form of travel. So if you're being chased by Navy ships, you're still reliant on the wind. If he has a wind Logia, he could put wind in his own sails and make there absolutely no wind behind him, or make storm like maelstroms and stuff for the people chasing him. And that's why Dragon is impossible to catch. Is like he will always be able to escape because he literally has the wind on his side. It's like, have you ever played Sea of Thieves?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You've got the flute, so you can obviously put the wind into your sails, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. I think that's how I think he's using his Logia. So literally, he's on the run, and that he's keeping this black ship. He's keeping it separate from himself. Maybe even via like a Logia awakening, right? Maybe that's what it's doing. And there is all these constant things, because if he had a wind Logia, similar to like how Caesar was, he would be able to fly. Maybe not like really, really fast, but he would have the ability to fly using his fruit. Yeah, like the same as Ace did when he propelled himself in the air using the Mera Mera. And I think that's what Dragon does. Like, he physically move every now and again. He will go to this boat, to this ship that's out there with the black sails, and just keep this last poneglyph safe. I would just, really like that.
Sorry, guys. I'm looking for my.
I can tell. I can see you're looking. We can see you on your screen looking for something.
I'm like really looking for it because I said it so long ago.
I believe you. I mean,
I remember.
Shit.
One thing that I think is really interesting is so if you look at the mural, you have like the first world where they talk about like the Serpent of Hellfire.
Yeah. I agree with. Yeah,
which it's like the sun god appeared, the earth god raged, and with its Serpent of Hellfire, okay, so like that's the earth god. But in the second world, it says what is it? the sea god stormed, and they will never meet. So it almost looks like the sea god could be, the rain god essentially,
Mhm.
and it looks kind of like a serpent with wings coming down and shooting some sort of beam out of its mouth, raging with the serpent of hellfire.
I suppose you could
So
have. I suppose you could have. You know how like Enel made the electric version of himself with when he was on Skypiea, like when the last attack that Luffy launches when he hits him on the bell, right, and he makes that giant lightning version of himself.
yeah,
Dragon could do the same thing, and to combine like our theories almost, the shape he makes is the coaxolotl dragon. So it's still a wind Logia, but that's the way that Enel made a giant shape. And remember, Akainu made that giant red dog. Aokiji did the phoenix, not the phoenix, sorry, the pheasant at Marineford. Dragon's
yeah.
version could literally be a giant like coaxolotl dragon.
It could, or even if it was like a mythical model thing, it could be similar to like like Marco's Phoenix, where it's
that.
almost like a combination of the two.
You're
like when
trying
it
to hit
gets
the wind.
hit, yeah, when it gets hit, it
I
just
like yeah.
passes through
Yeah.
like a Logia. It could be a combination because like
that would be very
interesting.
Again, like I said, basically,
wait, let him finish, Broker. Let him finish.
Oh, sorry. I thought he was done.
No, it was just that I was just laughing at the fact that you're looking up like you were just like studying like
so I'm trying not to focus on.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm really trying. Whatever. Monkey D. Quell. Shout out, not. I don't know who said it first, but I'm just gonna say I said it a long time ago. Come on here someday. Yeah. But yeah, if you want to finish what you were saying. But I've got a question. Also, didn't I want to look it up, but whatever. When Dragon came to like to fight Smoker, didn't the like wind pick up and stuff?
Yes. So,
the lightning struck the platform and saved Luffy, and then the wind was like blowing crazy, and it eventually like blew Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats out of town. While
so what's it?
Oh my god! Model Zapdos. Model Zapdos.
Zapdos would go crazy.
That would be awesome. I would, yeah. But what it is, so again, going back to like anime stuff, it's way more in that exact scene you're talking about when it's the flashback. I think they do even back on Punk Hazard when we're getting the flashback of Smoker and stuff back in Logtown. I think again they really embellished the wind side of things in the anime, because in the manga, the whole like exactly like you said, where Dragon the wind blows things away after Dragon like interacts with Smoker. I don't think that happens as much in the manga. I think in the manga they run away rather than get blown away. I think they literally try and run, because don't they get chased by Buggy using that weird car version of himself?
Yes,
you might be right.
Yeah, as I said again,
I think that happens first.
I'm saying what I'm saying in the manga. I think that's all that happens. Like you're absolutely right. In the anime, there's that huge gust of wind that we assume is coming from like Dragon. It's the one that. So after the lightning strikes Buggy, then there's this huge gust of wind. Like Luffy stands up, says, "Oh, I'm alive," whatever that is, and then this wind, exactly like I say, blows everyone away, and everyone gets blown off, like to wherever. But I think that's anime only to a degree. I don't think it happens anywhere near as much in the manga. Again, when was that in the manga? What, 20 years ago plus? Yes. So I'm remembering it from very, very long ago.
Well, and the thing is, I like back then, I feel like you have to be careful with the anime because
agreed.
Because like when they messed up the lightning, the red lightning, like anything pre that, I feel like they weren't checking as much.
Agreed.
And so like that post that they haven't made a mistake, but pre that, if there's mistakes in it, I'm like, if there's something iffy, I won't, I'll lean towards
100%
the side of that, the animators didn't know.
I think what one of the things people don't seem to understand is that the animators, the people that are animating One Piece at Toei, yeah, they're probably animating 10 different anime, editing them all at the same time. So as much as people want to believe that the people animating One Piece are huge One Piece fans, it's unlikely, because again, it's just a job, right, for them, that they're working, they're trying to do their job as best they can, and that's why these embellishments happen.
Yeah, but I'd say nowadays there are, like Vincent Chanzard, like, like there are few specialists that are like,
Yes.
you know,
Oh yeah, but
but
I'm talking about like the day-to-day people.
that's not the norm. Yeah,
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
people
Thank you.
that are
Yes.
doing, King versus Zoro
Yeah,
fights,
exactly. The amount of effort that must take is absolutely astounding.
Yeah, the people that are doing Sanji making, fried
Wasn't that
rice is.
wasn't that in the Guinness Book of Records? The fight with Zoro and King. Well, didn't that get in the Guinness Book of Records for something, if memory serves? Like
Yeah, maybe under
yeah.
badass fight of the
Yeah,
fucking
no,
century.
I think it was the most amount of things that we used, like the most amount of scenes or captions or something. Let me check. I'm sure it was something like this.
Most amount of frames, maybe.
Yes, maybe that. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That'd be crazy. So the
Oh, it's already come up.
so Solo Leveling.
Yeah, I've got it here. Guinness Book of Records. It was because it was the first animation to put 100 impact frames into 2 seconds at 48 SPS.
Okay, yeah. So that's crazy. But
That's mad.
Solo Leveling, the most frames an episode had was about 17,000, and then
Damn.
June 28th. Shout out, Lord of Mysteries. So there's a show coming out, Lord of Mysteries. It's an amazing donghua.
What's it called?
And Lord of Mysteries. And
Lord.
each episode has a minimum of 30,000 frames.
Is it a manga? Did you say, or
a donghua?
How do you spell that?
Chinese.
DANWA.
DONGHUA.
DONGHUA. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, interesting. Wow, that looks Jesus Christ, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Yep.
Okay, so I have.
Thank you.
I have gone to the manga. I
I
have read the scriptures.
And
so what happened was Buggy tries to go after Luffy. Smoker hems them up and captures them all. And then Smoker chases after Luffy, grabs him. Dragon intervenes and blows almost like a wind blast after talking shit to Smoker all of the Marines behind him away.
Oh, it's at the
Really?
Marine. It was at the Marine. Does he do it to Luffy in that?
Then once Luffy hits the ground after he blows everyone away except for Smoker, Luffy like hits the ground. He doesn't even look up for a second because Zoro and Sanji grab him, and then he shoots like another, what seems to be almost like he's aiming wind towards them and making them move faster.
Nice.
And basically
good find.
Yeah, and then that's when Smoker's asking him, like, why are you helping that guy? And all of or in a few earlier panels, they were like, the wind is starting to blow from the west, which means they'll have a tailwind and they'll be able to get out basically.
See, it's leading to what I think of, like I say, about the black sails. It's this shit that is uncatchable, because anyone that tries to chase it either gets caught in a maelstrom or the wind is just not in their favor.
But the only thing that leads me to believe that that's not it. Sorry, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I'm looking at a pan. But go ahead.
The only thing that leads me to believe it's not him is the fact that, one, he always is traveling with the Revolutionary Army.
Exactly where I was going.
He doesn't have black sails when he's with the Revolutionary Army, but on top of all of that, he what was it? I just had it. Oh my god, it's about to leave me. He doesn't like he's had conflicts with like Blackbeard and stuff like that, like on Baltigo and stuff like that. And Blackbeard was asking Kuzan, like, yo, who is this guy? You know, this man marked by flames. And Kuzan's just like, shit, ain't me. But like, if they beat the revolutionaries, or at least push them to retreat from Baltigo, because they ended up having to set up shop in Kamabaka Queendom, they would have probably chased after them. If whirlpools started forming right afterwards, it would lead me to believe that, they would have put 2 and 2 together at that point. So, I just don't think Dragon's that guy. I think that it's going to wind up being someone like a Roger Pirate or something like that. Like,
I have an answer. I have an answer if you like. So it's what's the name of the guy who's made of crows? So what's the name of the guy who's made of crows?
Karasu.
Karasu. Yeah. Remember how Karasu is able to like be in more than one place at once, like via the crows?
I think that he's like able to talk through them.
I think that Dragon can probably do the same. Yeah, I think that that's part of like the Devil Fruit Awakening, is that you can be in more than one place at once. Remember how like Kizaru made the light clones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Dragon is able to do that, and that he is almost, remember how like Doflamingo with his string clone? Yeah. I think that if Dragon needs to, I think he can just appear on that ship with the black sails. Like he can come and go.
That is a fine line to toe, because then that just makes me go. That just makes me go. Okay, so like Dragon has all this power but does nothing with it.
My only thing about that is, what if he's not on the ship and just controlling the wind and having it?
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, that's even better. Oh, thank you. I like that even better.
He could just be moving the ship around, keeping himself distanced from it, staying with the revs.
Yes, that's much better. I like that a lot. Thank you. Yeah.
Maybe
like remote control, basically.
Maybe that's why he doesn't do anything, because he's so tired. He's so tired. He's oh man, keeping this away from people.
Yeah.
Imagine we see like a cover story where Dragon's just like leaning back trying to sleep, and he's got this little thing where his hands, and he's just moving the wind remotely from wherever he is.
He's like, do you guys even know what work is?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and it shows a picture of Kuma.
He's
just
there,
like no days off. No days off.
You find out that every 5 minutes there's a pirate crew trying to attack the ship with black sails, and he's having to make these maelstroms to attack these ships. So that when he looks east, imagine that every time he's looking east, he's actually doing that. He's having to control the ship, and he just doesn't want anyone to distract his concentration.
I mean, Shanks with the Wi-Fi hockey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why not?
I'm wondering if whatever is like controlling the ship or whatever, I'm wondering if for some reason, and this is why I think it might be a Roger Pirate. If you remember way back in Strong World, Shiki went against Roger with an insane fleet, and it was just the Oro Jackson v 50 ships full of people.
Yeah.
And a storm came out of nowhere and literally was the reason why Roger was able to body all 50 ships, no diff,
Yeah.
Like that to me screams like, oh, there might be a Roger Pirate that has something, some sort of power or something.
Have we seen a Roger Pirate with a devil fruit? I can't remember. No, okay.
But what's interesting about it is we've seen something that is unidentifiable, and we have no idea where it came from or where it went.
The egg.
Yeah.
The egg.
Yes. Where is it? Interesting. What if it's on the black ship?
It could be.
Stop reading my mind, damn you. We've been through this. Stay out of my head.
That was one of the first things I wrote in the top chat. I was
I
like,
remember. I remember.
at
I
the
was
ask
there.
us a question. I was like, where's the egg?
Again,
Exactly.
for next time, because obviously we're coming to the end now, but I have a theory on the egg that actually ties into Laugh Tale.
It's big news, Morgan. He hatched.
He hatched from the one. Again, so there you go. So talking back about the what do you call it? The
Speaking of Morgans,
not love letter. What's the name of the thing with the fan letter?
Fan letter.
I would love to see one of those from the perspective of someone that works for Big News Morgans, just like a reporter, and that every
be
time
cool.
every time they're trying to get a photo of Luffy, all they get is the giant fist. So they had the giant fist when he was at Fishman Island when he was destroying the Noah, so he just has a photo of a fist. Then when he's at Dressrosa, he has the photo of the fist again when he's at clashing with Doflamingo. And then when he gets to Wano, he's also using a giant fist. And just imagine he's trying to get this perfect photo for the newspaper, and all he ever gets is this giant fist in the way.
It'd be way better if the only clear photo they got of him was the guys that were dressing as the Straw Hats.
Oh yes, yeah,
Damalo Black.
He's no, remember, he's now taking ownership. He's pretending to be Kid.
He's Kid.
Yeah, he's Kid now.
Which I'm like, dude, that is such a downgrade. But I guess if you get bodied by the other person, when
my wife was reading that chapter, she honestly thought that, like, because of what happened with Shanks, she thought Kid had really let himself go. I had to remind her who it was. She was like, "What happened to Kid? He's really let himself go."
That's so funny.
That's really funny.
She came to us like, "What happened to Kid?" Like, no, that's not Kid. That's the guy from before.
What would be really interesting is just an episode for Panda Man from his POV through all of the times where he's like shown up.
Oh my god, yeah.
That would be
that'd be
crazy.
Very cool.
That would be.
Have you guys all seen the image that someone drew a long time ago of Panda Man where he's defeated everyone?
Yes, I did see that.
I had that as a poster on my wall for so long. I loved it.
Cool.
So it was amazing. Remember, he's got Kizaru in a little light bulb.
Yeah, that's so funny.
It's brilliant, and he's got Blackbeard in like a little chest and stuff like that.
Listen, he was on Roger's crew. He was on the ship. He was. Do you
know what I honestly think might happen? What I think might happen when we get like the final chapter, like the epilogue and stuff, how brilliant would it be if Panda Man takes off his mask and underneath it's the little fish that Oda uses to draw himself?
I was gonna say, he just takes off the mask.
Yeah, it's a little fish head. So it was Oda all along.
Oda was there.
Listen,
yeah,
it would be very interesting for Panda Man to actually, like, besides for just being like a cool little Easter egg, to have like a relevance.
Oh yes, 100%.
Imagine he's the man with the burn scar, but he just dresses up like a penguin.
As a panda.
It's under the panda mask. He's got this horrible burn, so he uses a panda mask.
Yeah, and he's just been doing it ever since.
I would love. No, but what's even better is like he's got all of these log poses that all lead to Laugh Tale. He just hands them out for free. Yo, why didn't you say you wanted to get a Laugh Tale? I've got loads of those. Here you go.
Yeah.
People just think he's like crazy.
Yeah, just starts giving them away for free.
Yeah, I think a Big News Morgan one would be crazy. I also just love Big News Morgan.
Same here.
And I love the theory that he is actually one of the Roger Pirates.
Roger Pirates.
Oh, no, I was thinking he's a Rev. I thought he was secretly part of the Revs.
So if you look at hold on, let me see if I can
the picture of the Roger Pirates. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know this. Show me. Show me.
Oh shit.
I don't know.
There's
a you don't know this?
No, oh my god, I want to see this. Show me.
Now. Oh my god, hold up.
So there's like
this isn't like spoiler stuff, right?
No.
Oh,
so there's a picture that shows while you're getting the picture, I'll just basically there's a guy that looks like it could be Morgan's if he wasn't in like hybrid Beastman form.
Okay. I've got
Man Beast. Excuse me.
You've got me all excited now. Don't leave me hanging.
Here, I'm posting it in our chat.
I put it was speaking of the fan letter when you were talking about like made you
Yeah.
cry. I was the same. If you go and watch that little, it's a like little AM. Do you remember the song from the Deadpool movie?
Which one?
Yeah, which Deadpool movie?
Oh, what's it called? I
the
can't even think
newest
of the name
one,
of it now.
the first one.
Like a Prayer, the Madonna song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Of
that
course.
song, but done to the fan letter, and oh my god, it's heartbreaking. It's so good. Like I'm a big fan of
I think
AMVs.
I've seen that.
I'm a big AMV fan. My very first introduction to like anime as a whole, outside of just Dragon Ball Z, was via AMVs. Back in the days but this is before like YouTube was being used for it. This is when I found them on LimeWire. Again, that's showing my age now. Does everyone remember LimeWire?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep. And I downloaded AMVs from LimeWire.
I downloaded porn and didn't know how to delete them, and my parents definitely found it.
We all did that, but no one was admitting to it.
Hey.
Okay, so it's in the chat. Check it out.
Yeah, show me. Where am I looking?
In our chat with all three of us.
Oh, I see. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Is that anime only, or is that manga stuff as well?
That's manga as well.
I think you're right. Holy shit! Well done. So you think that's him in his like human form, or do you think do you think
I think that's the only way?
Do you think he had a devil fruit then or not?
No, I think that he got it right afterwards, probably
when the Roger Pirates broke up.
Exactly, and then he was like, I know the full history, but I need to see what's going to happen because Roger was too early. I need to make sure that I see
someone
who's
else
going to be the one who's going to fulfill this.
Do you think he went to Laugh Tale then, or do you think he was one of the ones that was like left behind?
No, I think he went. He went to Laugh Tale. Here, I have the image actually.
Oh, yeah.
From the manga.
Where? I can't believe I've missed all this.
Yeah.
When was this? Is this recently or a while ago?
No,
this was probably like I want to say like a year or two ago.
That's amazing.
So,
well done. You've made me so happy. You're absolutely right then. 100%. I think you're right.
So what if he's actually like looking out for Luffy? Like we always think that like he's making Luffy out to be the villain, but what if he's like trying to
big him up?
Big him up. And
I think
that's why he called him the fifth. Is that why do you think he called him the fifth emperor then? Because remember, the world government didn't like that he did that. That was a Morgan's thing. Morgan was the one who called him.
Same with keeping the Monkey D. Luffy in the picture of him in Gear 5th. I think that was him being like, "Yo, I need these people to know." But I think point,
remember the Gear 5th thing we got an explanation for. So the Gear 5th photograph was taken by the guy with the bowler hat because Oda was asked, "Can you confirm this man is dead?" And he was said, "No, his status is unknown." But he was the last one with the camera.
Yes, so they wanted to post that picture, but keeping the D in Luffy's name with that picture was Morgan.
Yes. Oh,
so
I love that guy.
I think that's why you need. I think that's why you need both. But I think up until that point, he was waiting for Joy Boy candidates.
Yeah.
And that's why he was looking out for Ace. He was looking out for Blackbeard.
And
he was looking out for Shanks. He was looking out for all these different ones. But obviously he was on the crew with Shanks, and he doesn't know what Roger told Shanks at the end.
That's absolutely. I love that so much.
Like, I mean, he's obviously looking out. You know, he gave him the fifth emperor title, and I wouldn't doubt.
I've never seen this. I can't. Believe
it's crazy. He's basically got like a duck bill type hat and everything.
It's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and then what do you know? He gets an albatross devil fruit, and then as a Roger pirate, he couldn't go anywhere because they were all still pretty famous, regardless on if they were whatever.
Maybe that's why he's using the hybrid form to disguise himself.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's why he stays in hybrid so that no one recognizes him.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if the world
That's
government
amazing. Yeah.
found out that a Roger pirate was kind of running the world's news,
Yeah.
like,
It's a
dude,
big deal.
yeah, that's,
So, do you
That's
think
big
then?
news.
So here's my thing. Remember when Morgans fought off the cipher pole agents? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
He beat him
yeah,
easy, Diff.
exactly. What I think it as well is I think that is
facts.
now I think that marks the end of when Morgans. What's the newspaper called? In it's is it Coup News or something like that? Or
News
the,
coup.
no,
Yeah.
no,
I mean, that's the birds.
yeah, no. What's the paper has a name? I just can't think what it is
I'm
because it was
gonna look
given
it
a
up.
name a while ago. Let's have a look.
It is. You got it.
It was called the World Economy News. That was it.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, the WEN. So do you think now that marks the end of when Morgans did allow the world government to put their stuff in the newspaper? Because remember, they influenced Morgans enough to lead the fake story about Doflamingo leaving the warlords. I think that he's like, no, I'm not taking your shit anymore. I'm going to report the news my way. That would be very interesting.
No, I think
he didn't I think that he wants to stay as close as he can to the world government. Which is why he's still printing a decent bit of their stuff.
But we haven't seen any government propaganda since that time when Morgans was fighting off the Cypherpole agents. Everything else has been taught. It's been bigging up. Remember, Sabo being called the Flame Emperor. That's after that. Luffy being given the title. The what do you call it? The reverie happening. All of it. Everything that's all happened post him fighting the Cypherpole agents. I think he's done with the world government. I think he just wants to report whatever he wants now. I think you were right about the candidates, and that now he believes he has enough candidates that he doesn't need the world government anymore.
It's very possible. Also, one thing I just want to say is it's really funny considering the fact that one, he's an albatross, but also the fact that he his like big news ship is an aircraft because he would know that the world is sinking.
It's being pulled by. It's one of my favorite designs for a ship where it's being pulled by all those seagulls.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, he would know the world's sinking. He'd be privy to that type of information, and I think what would
prepared for it. Yeah.
Like I think what we'll see is because like obviously he's gonna be playing a part. Like Vivi's on on his ship. Like we're gonna get some like Vivi wouldn't be on his ship this late if there wasn't gonna be something that happened.
Same with Wapol. Remember, Wapol is a king. So there's two leaders of kingdoms that are no longer government affiliated, hiding on board his ship. So again, that strikes me as like if he was still allied with the government in some way, he would have turned them in for a reward.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he was ever.
So allied's the wrong word. You're right. Allied's the wrong word. Working alongside for his own gain, but again, still printing what they tell him to print. Like it was the same with the story about not just Dressrosa, but the story about Alabasta as well. That fake story was put out by the world government and printed in the paper about Smoker defeating Crocodile.
Yeah, no. I hear you. I just think that like at this point he's like he knows the end game's in sight.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't need the world government anymore. It's like, I have my candidates. There's 5 of them. You can get lost. I have these Question. Remember when we got that panel quite a while ago now, where it was like, these are all the big players in the world, yeah? And we got and one of them was Shamrock that we know now. Wasn't Morgans also on that list?
No,
as in, I swear maybe it must have been like a panel afterwards that was about Morgans, but I just remember that, like I said, since he fought those Cypherpole agents, he hasn't reported anything that the world government would want him to. He seems to be printing stuff they wouldn't want.
Yeah, he's turning Luffy into like
a hero.
No, because like Vivi had to snap at him and say like, "Oh, this isn't what happened." Like he's like turning Luffy into like this more than a man, you know, vicious pirate, you know.
Oh, really? I don't remember that. Did he? I thought it was. I thought it was the other way. I thought it was like, talking about Luffy doing these good things.
Well, no, because he fucking printed the fact that Luffy killed Vegapunk, like,
Yeah.
and like all that other stuff. The only thing that was like kind of disregarding that is the fact that we saw a picture of Luffy and it had the cross on the arm that Vivi put on there when it went into publishing, so that way they would know, like, hey, this is what's happening. So the end game photo has Sakazuki, Dragon, Shamrock, Emu, Kobe, Garling, Kuzan, Sabo, and then the for Yonko.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just me misremembering.
But one thing that
Such
I
a
will say
weird
is,
group of people. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. It's weird to us now, I suppose, but it's like, are all of these people going to have some big role to play? Because that's a lot of story to get through. Do you know what I mean? Every time
Yeah.
when people say, "Oh, One Piece will be done in 5 years, it'll be done in another 5 years," the way it is at the moment with these setups, I can easily see the story going on for another 10 years easily with
Oh, yeah.
no
Yeah.
struggle.
Me too. I don't understand. I don't think they're anywhere near ending it. That, to be honest, there's too much left open. You know. Taku, you were saying something.
well, so when it comes to Big News Morgan, one of the things that I was thinking was, so they talk about Joy Boy in the poneglyph, obviously, because they all laugh and and Roger remarks like, Joy Boy, I wish I was alive in your time.
Yeah.
So if they're telling the story of Joy Boy, what are the odds that maybe Nefertari D Lily was mentioned, and that's why Big News is cool with having Vivi on his ship, knowing that, like, oh, if I have the Nefertari, like, I'm gonna get a chance to meet Joy Boy because this is happening now, like, and
Love
he'll
it.
probably
Yeah.
slowly put the pieces together that, like, oh, like, she's trying to signal to Luffy, and Luffy has this form that's supposed to be like, Joy Boys. Maybe this is where it's going to happen.
I like that.
I would love to see, and I really like the theory that Larry has about Sunbell being the man marked by flames.
Who's Sunbell? Sorry.
The fishman on Roger's
Oh,
crew.
yes. I remember now.
And to me, that matches, because if you were to create, like, Jinbei can create whirlpools underwater, he can create all of the things that would, and Jinbei's the
Fishman karate,
helmsman,
yo.
fishman karate,
Black belt in
and
fishman karate.
what would be very interesting is similar to like Fisher Tiger, how he had the Sun Pirates thing, and it was like marked by flames. If Sunbell has something similar, because maybe him and Fisher Tiger were close, they were around kind of around the same time, or if anything, Fisher Tiger may have gotten the inspiration for the Sun Pirates logo from Sunbell. So it would be very interesting to see that, because then we're getting, let's just say Big News is a Roger pirate, right? You got him, you got Rayleigh, you got Sunbell, you got Gabon. You have all of the old Roger pirates coming together in a way which I believe that they will play a role in this final war, whether it just be, taking out fodder or whatever, or even, being somebody who, protects, someone important, like a Lily or something, like, or a Vivi or something, like,
oh my god,
just to finally get to
see. But I have to say something after.
Yeah, go ahead.
Finish, but I gotta say something. No, finish.
I was please. Like, this is them being like, what my captain couldn't do, I will be around to see for him. Like, which I really like. But go ahead.
So to bring this back to the beginning of our and I know we got to wrap soon. To bring this back to the beginning of what we were talking about, the last poneglyph, maybe it goes in the air for a little bit and then drops back to the deep sea. We have a whale that can swim underwater, and we have a flying ship. So they're like, we're ready for you, Luffy. We're ready to take you. If you get it, if we get you there, you know, you got to get it.
See,
We
that's
but we
this
have
is
the
what I would.
air and we have the sea covered. So it's okay if he makes it there and it's not the right time again. You know, they have both, like Laboon might have to take him underwater, you know?
That's what I was going to say. So when I was saying about the island move,
Like everybody thinks it's about, you know, the rising seawater, but what if it's actually to take him somewhere
do you know?
underwater?
Do you know the story of Jonah from the Bible?
No,
Yeah.
what's that?
So yeah, so it's basically
I'm
he's
kidding. I'm
oh,
kidding.
I don't know. Anyway, I think that's what it might. I think we're going to find an even bigger version of Laboon, and that the island is physically inside this giant whale, and that the way they manage to like get in is via their knowledge of Laboon. And like again, maybe it's Laboon's mother or father or something if they want to really go that sort of direction with it. But that there is an entire island inside the whale.
God,
It
if
would
Laboon
be-
finds his family, I'm literally gonna cry.
Oh no! For another time, I will tell you how I think the Laboon story ends. Which again, it's the theory that breaks my heart, but I really think it might happen.
But it would be very interesting considering. So like when we see like when we get a picture inside Laboon, it's like mechanical, it's like
Yeah.
metal and stuff like that.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
almost like he's outfitting it to
You're-
be able to take people.
Again, stop saying in my head. You're both as bad. But yeah, literally, the anime embellished it quite a bit because in the anime, I think when we saw what was Crocus, it was inside Laboon, and he had painted the inside of him so it looked like a wall and stuff, so it looked like the sky.
Yeah,
I think we're going to get an even bigger version of that, and that physically inside this giant whale is where Laugh Tale is.
that would be super interesting.
I would
actually
really like
like
that.
that.
And again, the fourth road poneglyph is where it tells you that like the route that the whale is taking.
I like it.
Like it's like the migrating pattern of
Exactly.
the whales.
Exactly. That's it. And that's what the fourth one is for. So it's 3 to triangulate where it is, and the fourth to work out where it's going to be.
And Roger, you know, and Roger got the things that, and he's like, oh, the whales don't come to Laugh Tale at this, you know, this time of the year. You know, they'll be here at this
exactly.
or these years every so many years.
Perfect.
You know,
I love it. And again, that would then give us an opportunity for there to be another time skip. Like again, we can have like they know where to go now, but it's not going to like be accessible for like let's say a year or 6 months, because then it gives the Straw Hats time to train in order to get strong enough to go to Laugh Tale. Because like I've said, at the moment, if we did 1v1s, Blackbeard Pirates versus Straw Hats, the Straw Hats will lose. The Monster Trio, they might the Monster Trio, they might win. Yeah, they might be able to defeat their opponents. But Van Auger is going to one-shot Usopp. He's dead. He's gone. Unfortunately, I wish it was different. Again, whoever like Pizarro could just crush Brook's bones with the island fruit. Like overall, they might win some of their 1v1s, but as a crew, someone is going to die.
Here's my thing. At the end, or like at the point where they would have to face each other. So we're talking after Elbaf. You know, like I think that. I don't know. I think the Straw Hats are looking at, you know, a massive upgrade by the end.
That's what I'm saying. I completely agree. What I'm saying is I think the upgrade will take place within a time skip. Maybe not 2 years again. The only reason I would personally like it to be another 2 years is because as readers, we know how much stronger people can get in a 2-year time frame. Like we're used to it. We know the jump that Zoro, Luffy, and Sanji made in 2 years. So to give that same upgrade to the rest of the Straw Hats as well, we'll just give them again. By the end, I want all of the Straw Hats to be able to use what's it called, like basic armor and observation, just the basics, right? Because if you're going up a Devil Fruit user crew, you're going to need it. You just are. And at the moment, they only, the top 4 have it? Is it, it's Jinbei, Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy that have Haki at the moment, right?
Usopp's got observation.
Well,
but...
he's unlocked it, but he can't use it. Like Rayleigh explains it.
Chopper
awakens.
might have it. Might have some.
Oh, agreed. Yeah, agreed. Chopper's probably a candidate.
We got to wrap up.
Yeah, sorry, we do. Yeah, sorry, we're half an hour over. Apologies.
I wanted to, and I definitely forgot it. I had a really good question to ask you guys and leave it there, but I forgot it. So
no, ask it now so we can go away and think about it next week.
I literally said I forgot.
Oh no, sorry. Damn.
For anybody that's watching this video, this just proves that how much Broker just talks. And
I do. I told you. I apologize.
He only takes in about half.
Yeah.
I was listening. I stopped.
If he took in about half as much as he talked, that'd be a whole lot.
It would be. But now he's got lots to think about now that he's like Big News Morgan might be on Roger's crew.
Yes, I love all that. Thank you both so much for that. It's amazing. I can't wait to read through that.
Go back, read Odin's flashback.
All right, yeah.
Is that what it was? Odin's flashback?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're definitely gonna have a busy week next week. Jonah, thanks for the spoiler. F you. But yeah, I'm excited. I think we're gonna have a lot that we want to talk about. So we'll chat, we'll figure out a time, but like we should probably plan out time, even if we want to do it maybe like a little bit late or whatever. We'll talk about this at a different time.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to like this, subscribe, make clips,
do all that good stuff.
Yeah, do all that good stuff. Holler at us.
Complain about me.
Definitely complain about you.
Yeah.
I will do it.
Make sure the comments are full of it.
Shut up, both of you.
Broker, Nerd, anything you want to say? Anything you got going on this week?
Just chopping up my live reactions to some of the episodes, some of the good stuff, the Willem Dafoe meme, all that good stuff.
That was hilarious,
dude.
Yeah,
mega.
Whoever's idea that was deserves a promotion.
It's like, dude, it's a close tie to me between that and then the impact frame that said like smoking on that Big Mom pack.
Yeah,
that's like those are both up there.
How did that get in?
I don't know, but I loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I'm definitely chopping that stuff up, and then of course whenever this chapter drops, I will be doing my live reaction probably this weekend. So
nice.
That's all I got.
I'll be there.
Yeah, well, Broker, who's there going to be at? Because I'm going to do live reaction also at the same time.
Well, fine. I'll have you both open on a different screen then. I have multiple monitors. I'm okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I am going to start doing live reactions to it. But yeah, guys, also join me on live every night, 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Watch parties, watch anime, talk about anime. All that good stuff. The summer season of anime is about to come out, and it is stacked. Not to mention, we got One Piece continuing, but I know the anime is going to be going on a short hiatus, I think.
Yes. 3 weeks.
Yeah. All right, guys. We will be here same time next week or same time on Wednesday next week. Still up in the air. Thanks for joining us. We're going to go grab some food. Take care. Thank you, guys. And remember, One Piece is the best.
Much love all.
Definitely. Good night.
Take care, man.
You too.